You're the last reading for the Woodstock series. I had a lot of fun doing this series. If you were alive during the Woodstock Vietnam era, you'd noticed I put a few subliminal messages in the introduction. Nothing bad or anything. And now that it is the 48th anniversary of Woodstock, and where has the time gone, I thought it'd be appropriate to do a love reading. You know, make love, not war. My very favorite was make lovies, not war. It really is time for the United States to take a look at their infrastructure. Now, the first overall card for your reading is found by going card by card through the deck and finding something that depicts Taurus, which would be either the Hierophant or any court card of the Pentacles. And for love, it would be the Two of Cups or the Lover's card. And the first card I came across was the Knight of Pentacles. You know, I call the Page of Pentacles Mr. Responsibility. And the Knight of Pentacles is also, he goes slowly through life. This is an excellent card that represents Taurians, because it is about steadfastness, stability, security. And this is an appropriate place for it as the overall feeling of this reading. There's no reason to be like where fools rush in. Now it's time to take it slow, especially when it comes to love and relationships. He uses the old tried and true methods of achieving success. And if you notice, he is offering a pentacle with the promise of more. But it'll be a while before this transpires. And the pentacle symbolizes earth and material things, but it also symbolizes health and well-being. Now the cards down on the left, for what you know, receive the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Cups. It's like you hit the jackpot of love here. The Ace of Cups is offering a promise of a new emotional, spiritual love beginning. And with us having these eclipses coming up, there is going to be some releases and endings and new beginnings coming into the picture. And the Nine of Cups is the Wish card. So you have an Ace of Cups with the Wish card. The Wish card is about happiness and satisfaction. It can even be about maybe even an event of some sort that you're going to be participating in. You know, you've worked hard to get to this point. You know, don't let the 9 card fool you that you just sat around and waited for luck to fall into your lap. Oh no, there's a lot of trials and tribulations involved in the 9 cards. And the 9 also means a completion, or coming to a completion point. And it also can signify understanding and wisdom. And that definitely is needed when it comes to affairs and relationships, especially of the love type. A lot of times people think that this Wish card means that you've got a ticket for a wish and you're going to redeem it. And maybe that's true. Maybe something that you did a while back is going to come to fruition, and it's going to have some luck involved with it, some good fortune. But I just have a feeling on this next Ace of Cups journey, it's just going to happen. It's just going to be something that was in the stars. And it just wasn't like one event, but everything just kind of falls into place the way it should. But you know, when things are just starting to look like they're turning out well, there's always rainstorm clouds coming in, and here in the center cards, for what is or can be yours, you receive the Devil card and the Judgment card. Well, it's kind of nice that, well, whatever you're going to be doing here, and if you accept this temptation, it's saying here that, yeah, there's going to be a lot of payback for it. Or if you go the right way, you're going to get accolades and rewards instead. You know, this Devil card can be about being entrapped or entangled in some type of situation. You know, you could be obsessive or have an addiction. A lot of times it's denial along with it because, oh no, I'm not doing that. No, it's okay. You know, sometimes you just have to put your toe in the water of doing something that maybe had good intentions at first, but then it went into an excess. Too much of it, no longer a treat anymore. And it was starting to harm you or maybe other people in your life. But his presence here is just telling you to warn you not to go forward with some of this if the temptations are being dangled in front of you. Because a lot of times if there's a carrot on the stick, the devil's going to pull the carrot off and beat you with the stick. And here the Judgment card is saying that there's going to be some others watching to see how this turns out. How are you going to deal with these temptations? But there's some words that are coming into my head, and ruthlessness is one of them, and vindictiveness is another. So just be careful of what you decide and really govern your behavior. Pretend you're watching yourself. But remember, this Judgment card is about a resurrection, a renewal, a rebirth. And so you do have to go through these rough times and be tested in order to go forward and find your higher self. Now the cards on the right for your self-awareness are just your awareness. You receive the Eight of Wands and the Queen of Swords. So something quickly is going to be unfolding. Different circumstances are going to be testing you. And the Queen of Swords is there with a sword of truth in her hand. And she's the one to remind you to use logic and reason. Don't go overboard with emotions, because that's where the devil really will entrap you, is with runaway emotions, let's call it. You know, back there with the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Cups, this is what you know category. So you know that it's there. You know good things are being offered to you. So now it's up to you to make some choices. And the Queen is there grounding the Eight of Wands, saying think, think, think. Be like Winnie the Pooh. Think. You know, the Eight of Wands is a very positive card of change. It can also be about you going through, I don't know, a small memory lane walk. You know, about cycles of life and what cycle you're in now. Because it's quite different from when you were younger and the decisions you made then versus what you make as you get older. And this card can be about messages and news. And maybe that's what's tempting you, and maybe not. It can also be about travel. And perhaps you're going to be taking, I'm seeing more short-term than long-term journeys. Now the future cards is the Moon, the Sun, and the Ten of Swords. Now the Moon has an obscure reflective light sometimes that distorts things, and it can be about secrets, deception, instilling fear with the elongated shadows. But then again, it can be about emotions and the tide of emotions, and about dreams and intuition. And the next card from the Moon card is the Sun card in the deck. So now you're seeing some enlightenment, some truths that have been hidden behind the veil of the Moon card. And the Knight of Pentacles is up there watching all this, just slowly taking everything in and making some very slow decisions. Researching things, knowing where he wants to go. Because he knows that he has this opportunity of new love, new things with luck involved in it. But boy, he can sure get his foot in a snare if he gets caught by the devil. And things are going to be happening very quickly, in a small window of time, with the Eight of Wands. But you're going to be waking up and making some realizations with the Moon card and the Sun card there. Now the Ten of Swords is kind of a negative card, but not really. You know, it's about some disloyalty. It could be even infidelity. Something happened, and it was really a bummer. But you got over it. You saw the truth through the Moon card and the Sun card together. And all 10 cards mean that you're coming to an ending, and there's going to be a new beginning. The Sun cards offers abundance and joy. The new day dawning, type thing. And now if you don't go back and think ruthlessly and vindictively with the Devil card for whatever happened with this Ten of Swords, you are going to move on and have a happy, emotional, affectionate love life. And I pulled Adoring Virtue, Messages of the Angel card. And you received azure, means blue. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. Yeah, so many people try to put a round peg in a square hole when it comes to love affairs. And here it is saying, go slowly with the Knight of Pentacles. This is what you're all about, is stability, security. Battalions can be very stubborn, and I think that also is what the Devil card is saying to you. Don't get stuck in something that you don't want to stay in. And a lot of times Tarians like to think when they're in love with somebody that they own this person. But allow some wiggle room and independence for everybody. And don't force it to happen. Now, right after this reading, I have a 2-minute video that I called The Absurd. And there was a lot of absurd things going on during the Woodstock Vietnam era, especially with Richard Nixon as president, Tricky Dick, stop Dick in the middle of a screw. Well, I'd like to ask you, where did all of the hippies and flower children go? Well, right now it appears that they're retiring from CEO offices and corporations and actually became part of the problem of the system and the man that they had protested so heavily against. And I think that really absurd. So, welcome to the absurd.